You know, if I didn't know better, I'd swear that Paul Heyman was some kind of psychic with the promo he did on the show. I'm John Renton with the retro review of WWE Smackdown from November 15, 2001, the go-home show for Survivor Series 2001, that pay-per-view, and the following Raw. Those are the last reviews that I'll be doing. Well, actually, that's not true. I am going to be doing the rest of WWE's programming in 2001. Why? Why the fuck not? There were some good moments, and hell, I've come this far. Why not see it through to the very end? Though, starting next year, I will be easing back on the retro content. Why is that? 2018, 2019, last year, this year. Whole lot of retro content. I eventually need to ease back because I'm running out of shit to review without getting really goddamn obscure, even though WWE has a massive fucking library. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. The invasion angle really was just burning through piles of money and, you know, potentially a couple of years of creative just in a few months. And I understand they didn't have some of the big stars, but they could have done a whole lot better with this. Vince McMahon didn't care because the XFL was a fucking dumpster fire, so he wanted to make this whole damn thing a dumpster fire. He just couldn't have, you know, a competitive force of anybody that he didn't make come in and, you know, run roughshod over his company and make it any kind of competition. Nobody ever believed that the Alliance would be able to compete on an even playing field with WWE. Even with the stars they had, there was enough to make it work. But anyway, Taz and Cole talk about the main event. They're at the Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York. RVD versus Kane, non-title match because RVD retained the Hardcore Championship. So, future tag partners explode before they become tag partners. So, it really doesn't make sense for them to explode. Though Kane does have the, you know, he dances into the fire. So, WWF needs Hogan. That's a sign of the crowd. No, they don't, but they get him a couple months later anyway. So, RVD got tossed around. The pace was good. Big superplex by Kane. Booker runs in. Big shock. And we get a high kick off the ropes. 1, 2, 3. So, RVD gets the victory. Then Taker eventually runs down, not a moment too late, because he's going to face Booker later. And Test is playing either Need for Speed or Gran Turismo, I don't really know. And then Stacy was admiring how he worked the joystick, and was hoping she could work his joystick. So thinking about it, Zach, I know you're thinking about it. And he's ready for the 6-man tag, where the women will be there at ringside. They should have just made an intergender tag match. Why the fuck not? Oh, they already have one on this, and WWE never repeats it. Oh. So Jericho and Rock, they can get along, but then they will get it on because they're going to be facing off at Vengeance 2001, where Jericho may have beaten The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. I think I may have heard him say that 1 or 50 million times. So a cool handshake. They do the cool hand Luke handshake, and then Rock pretends to shoot something like in Duck Hunt and not hold the duck up like that stupid dog that we were never allowed to shoot. I don't understand it. It's video game animal violence, so it's kind of cool. That dog was so fucking infuriating. Don't abuse dogs. Don't abuse animals at all. It's bad. Video games, that character was infuriating. Moving on. Edge the Hardys with Lita taking on Tess with the Dudley, and the Dudleys with Stacy. And the crowd was up. I mean, there was a lot of smoke. That's the one thing I noticed about this. Is any of the pyro, there was so much smoke. The ventilation really fucking sucked there. I mean, well, actually, if it sucked, then they would have been able to suck the smoke into the goddamn thing. It just wasn't working at all. The ventilation took a goddamn break. Union ventilation. But anyway, back body drop. And we got some good pacing here. Spear on Devon for 3. And then Matt caught Stacy because she was bounced off the ropes. And, you know, he dropped her like a bad habit when Lita saw him. Like, no, I didn't mean to do that. And Lita got laid out by the 3D. A line that was said, the damn Dudleys drilling Lita. And Edge was on the... Moving on. Matt apologizes to Lita, and it seems forced, and he's like, yeah, okay, I feel totally bad for what I fucking did. I don't care. I'll take advantage of this girl. Why did they make Matt a fucking creep here? I don't fucking get it. So, DDP shows up. It's actually Big Show as DDP, and then DDP shows up, and I guess we had a match where it was a choke slam 1, 2, 3. How is this a match? How did this happen? I don't know. And then Shane hits Big Show with a chair and then runs off. Heyman and Stephanie are talking. Stephanie did not see what Shane did because she was revisiting what they did when they formed the invasion, or formed the alliance, rather, just before the invasion pay-per-view. Remember that? Remember that weirdness? It was so goddamn strange. Big moment, though, and the invasion angle, or the invasion pay-per-view, actually really did well for pay-per-view buys. Taz talks about Heyman before Paul calls out Vince. And this is probably Paul Heyman's best promo 2001, easily. Not that he was given a ton of chances to talk. Whenever he did, he made it work. This was him fired up. He laid everything out, and I have a feeling that he probably felt this way about a lot of the stuff that Vince said. But if you see nothing else from this show, it's, again, if you miss the date in the beginning, and if you aren't looking at the title, November 15th, 2001, Smackdown. It's like 35, 40 minutes into the show or something like that. They don't have chapter breaks on the cock, but just skip through. When you see Heyman, talking in the ring and everything, before Vince comes out, just wait. Just watch this. It's fucking wonderful, because Heyman is a master on the mic, and is a master now. He also had more hair and a lot less weight than he does now. It's actually frightening. I hope that he can get that under control, because he's starting to look like Alfred Hitchcock. But asshole chance directed at him and everything. The WWF, will die this Sunday. How he agreed to Foley, that Vince has lost his mind. He doesn't have it anymore. This was said in 2001, and boy, has it rung true lately, because Vince McMahon doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But this is 2001, people were saying this. Now, it was what it was. Since Vince McMahon is more sports entertainment, others are more professional wrestling. And Vince comes out because right after Heyman knocked the XFL, and then we get, he built the company on Hogan's blood, sweat, and tears. He stole Bret Hart's dream and bought a corporate jet, took the company public, mentions Vince McMahon Sr., how Vince Sr. didn't want to compete. But then once he died, he was taking the thing national and competing. Okay, maybe a bit off there, because Vince did buy the assets and did buy the company with the company money. I've never understood how he's been able to do that. His dad probably wanted to get out of it and was like, okay, I'll just do this. I'll call in a few favors like Jerry Jarrett and Eddie Graham and say, hey, my son's going to piss people off. Please help him. He's going to need help. But this is fucking wonderful. Heyman just going after him. Talked about how he stole ECW style. That Austin was having his first beer while Doink the Clown was there. A little bit off on that timeline. The attitude came from ECW's extreme violence, and you stole my life, my legacy, and your kids hate you. And all this stuff. And you flaunt your affairs in front of your wife and in Playboy, because he did cheat on Linda before. Linda looked the other way. I'll let you decide which eye she used to look the other way from. Look at what you did to Taz. Look what you made me do to Taz. Look what you made. Okay, it doesn't quite have the same ring as that Taylor Swift song. He used to be a great wrestler, and now he's just an announcer, or a color commentator, not even a good one. And wrestling's a dirty word to you, isn't it, Vince? Taz comes into the ring and chokes out Heyman, and Vince McMahon basically says, you're the epitome of the Alliance, because this Sunday the Alliance will choke. And Taz left the Alliance. He would join the WWF, and JR joins commentary for the rest of the show. This was really great shit from Vince, and because Vince just sat there, took it. Heyman got all his grievances out and got choked out, and Vince said his line. Perfect segment. Really, really good shit. Because Heyman, a master on the mic. Now we get Taker and Booker T in a match where Taker attacked Booker during his entrance, and eventually it starts. The ref gets shoved down, we get a DQ, and we get a chair kicked away, we get a choke slam. Basically, Taker just wanted to beat the shit out of him. That's pretty much it. Regal tells Ivory there will be a new women's champion crowned at Survivor Series 2001. Because at this time, Chyna was still the champion, but Chyna had been released from her contract, and they just forgot about the championship. Chyna got released from her contract a bit before this, or a couple months before this. But the whole point is it's going to be Lita, Trish, and Jaquella. Thank you very much, Derb. Thank you very much for that. Ivory, Molly Holly, and surprise entrant, which, by the way, I'm spoiling because fuck you, and also it's 20 years ago, Jazz. The surprise entrant was Jazz. And Helms then talks to Regal about the immunity battle royal, where the winner gets immunity for at least a year. They can't be fired for a year. Test wins it, and they proceed to do really nothing with it. They forgot about it within a couple months. But they didn't forget about Edge and Booker T having a match over a fake Japanese shampoo commercial. They are fighting over shampoo. So anyway, Austin and Angle are talking about tonight and also this Sunday. They kept trying to make this work. They kept trying to make heads or tails of this. Pinky swear? No, not gonna pinky swear. Jesus Christ. Deborah, get in here. Whack. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to ignore that about Austin like that biography did. So Tori calls Regal a pompous ass. He implies that I can find a position for you when the Alliance wins. Gross. Who would objectify women from wrestling? Would I lie? Anyway, Tajiri and Tori took on Regal and Ivory. Boy, Tori in the ring. She tried. That's all I'm going to say. Regal attacks Tori, hits a safe underhook, a very safe underhook. Seriously, he would have been better off just laying her on the ground. Not that he wanted to hurt her because Regal's a professional. And gets a stretch on her for the win. Main event rundown for Survivor Series. Long video package. Howard Finkel says, Vince, come what may, it's been an honor to be your employee. And he says, don't ever touch me again. Because that's the kind of guy Vince is. And rest in peace, Howard Finkel. So, Rock and Jericho versus Austin and Angle. Huge fight feel. They were up for it. There was some really great shit. Austin didn't care about winning the match. Austin and Angle eventually caused a DQ. Beat the shit out of The Rock. All the entrants get in here. Everybody gets in here. Just everybody. Even the cameraman, the vendors, the concession people. Everybody got in there. The ring exploded from all the huge manatees there. No, in all seriousness, everybody runs in. And they have their big melee. Everybody's down except for Austin after he stuns The Rock. And Vince is smiling. Austin's smiling. What the hell does this mean? And we will find out at Survivor Series. Angle screws over Austin, by the way. And The Rock gets a rock bottom on Austin. And that's the win there. So, yeah. Looking forward to reviewing that, reviewing Raw, and then continuing to review the rest of 2001, because why the fuck not? What else am I going to do this month? Because it's not like there's a ton of, great wrestling happening. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Wetland. I'll see you soon.